If you are 70, or you love someone who is 70, listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you today could add years to your life or take them away, depending on what you choose to do. After this video, there are 5 habits that quietly sit inside the daily routine of millions of seniors, and they feel normal, they feel harmless, they even feel comforting. But doctors are now warning that these 5 habits are silently pulling down the health of people the moment they cross 70. And by the time the damage shows up on a scan or in a blood test, it is often already too late. So stay with me till the end, because habit number 3 is the one almost nobody talks about, and it is doing more damage than smoking ever did to some seniors. Before we go further, I am Dr. Day Watson, and on this channel we talk about the kind of health truths that your regular checkup often skips. The 15-minute appointment, the rushed hallway conversation, the pamphlet you throw away. None of that covers what actually happens inside an aging body. So if you find value in what I shared today, do one small thing for me. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell, because next week I am bringing you the blood test numbers after 70 that doctors rarely explain, and you do not want to miss it. Now let us get into today's 5 habits. The first habit you must stop the moment you turn 70 is sitting for long hours without breaking it up. Now, I know what you are thinking. Everyone sits, it is normal. But for the body over 70, sitting for more than 90 minutes at a stretch does something very specific. It slows the return of blood from the legs back to the heart. It lowers the activity of an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase, which is responsible for breaking down fat in the bloodstream. And it quietly stiffens the joints in a way that younger bodies can recover from overnight, but older bodies cannot. Studies following adults over 70 found that those who sat for more than 8 hours a day had a noticeably higher risk of early mortality, even if they exercised for 30 minutes in the morning, because that 30 minutes cannot undo 8 hours of stillness. The fix is not complicated. Get up every hour, even if it is just to walk to the kitchen and backstretch your calves, flex your ankles while seated do. Not treat sitting as rest. Treat it as something your body has to be rescued from every 60 minutes. The second habit that becomes dangerous after 70 is ignoring protein at meals. Many seniors unconsciously shift towards soft, comforting foods. Toast, soup, rice, things that are easy on the teeth and the stomach. But these meals are often desperately low in protein. And here is the problem. After age 70, the body enters a state called anabolic resistance, which means it needs even more protein than before, just to maintain the same amount of muscle. Not less, more so eating, like you did at 50, is actually a recipe for muscle loss. Doctors call this condition sarcopenia, and it is one of the leading hidden causes of false fractures and loss of independence in seniors. Because weak muscles around the hips and thighs are what keep you upright when you trip. A healthy target most geriatric nutritionists recommend is somewhere around 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight. Spread across 3 meals. Eggs in the morning, a palm-sized portion of fish or chicken, or lentils at lunch, and a small serving of yogurt or paneer in the evening. This single change protects more than muscle. It protects your ability to walk into your own kitchen unassisted at 90. Now here comes habit number 3, the one I mentioned at the very start, and it is neglecting hearing and vision checkups. This sounds so small, so easy to postpone, but listen carefully. Hearing loss that goes uncorrected after 70 has been linked in multiple studies to a much faster decline in cognitive function. Why? Because the brain works overtime, trying to fill in the gaps of what it cannot hear clearly. And that constant strain steals resources away from memory and thinking over years. This quiet overload has been associated with a significantly higher risk of dementia. The same pattern shows up with vision. When eyesight blurs, seniors unconsciously start avoiding walks, avoiding social gatherings, avoiding reading, and that isolation feeds directly into depression and cognitive decline as well. An eye exam and a hearing test are not vanity checkups. After 70, they are brain protection appointments. Make it a rule 1, full hearing and vision check every single year. No excuses, no postponing. The fourth habit you need to stop immediately is taking multiple medications without a regular review. This is called polypharmacy, and it is far more common than people realize. By the time most people reach 70, they are managing anywhere from 5 to 10 different prescriptions from different specialists who often do not talk to each other. One doctor treats the heart, another treats the joints, another treats sleep, and nobody sits down to ask, does this combination make sense together? Certain. Combinations of blood pressure medication, sedatives, and even common over-the-counter sleep aids have been shown to significantly increase the risk of falls and confusion in seniors. What feels like normal aging, forgetfulness, dizziness, fatigue is sometimes not aging at all. It is the medications talking to each other in ways nobody planned. The solution is simple but powerful. Once a year, bring every single bottle you take, prescription and over-the-counter, to one appointment and ask directly, is there anything here we can safely remove? This one conversation has been known to change lives. The fifth and final habit that quietly shortens both lifespan and quality of life after 70 is withdrawing from social connection and mental challenge. This one does not announce itself loudly. It happens slowly. A friend passes away, a spouse becomes less mobile, driving becomes harder, and little by little, the world shrinks to 4 walls and a television screen. But the brain and the heart were not built for that kind of shrinking. Research on aging populations consistently shows that seniors who maintain regular social contact and continue learning new things, a new recipe, a new game, a new skill on the phone, have measurably slower rates of cognitive decline compared to those who become isolated loneliness. In seniors has even been linked by researchers to inflammation levels in the body, similar to what is seen in chronic disease. This is not about forcing yourself to be the life of the party. It is about one phone call a day, one visit a week, one new small challenge for the brain, each month. Even something as simple as learning to send a voice message on your phone counts. Because the goal is not entertainment. The goal is keeping the mind engaged with the world. So let us bring these 5 together, because none of them work in. Isolation. Sitting too long weakens the muscles you need. Skipping protein accelerates that same weakening. Ignoring your ears and eyes isolates the mind from the world around it. Uncontrolled medications quietly cause the falls and confusion that steal. Independence and withdrawing socially removes the very stimulation the brain needs to stay sharp through all of this. These 5 habits feed into each other. They are not 5 separate problems. They are one connected chain, and breaking even one link off that chain today can change the direction of the next 10 or 20 years of your life. I want to be clear about something. Before we continue, this video is for educational purposes only. It is not a replacement for advice from your own doctor. Everybody's health history is different, and any change to diet activity or medication should always be discussed with a qualified healthcare provider who knows your specific situation. What we share here is meant to help you ask better questions in that appointment, not to replace the appointment itself. Now, if you have made it this far in the video, you clearly care about doing this the right way for yourself or for a parent or grandparent you are watching this for. And that tells me you belong right here on this channel every single week I put out. Videos exactly like this one, breaking down what doctors know, but rarely have time to fully explain about aging, about the heart, about the brain, and about staying independent for as long as possible. So before you go, press that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications, because the next video in this series covers the 3 morning habits that quietly raise blood pressure in seniors without them. Even noticing, and if today's video helped you even a little, that one is going to help even more. Let's talk for a moment about why these habits sneak up so easily. In the first place, the body after 70 does not send loud alarms the way it did at 40. A torn muscle at 40 screams at you, a weakening muscle at 70 whispers. It shows up as a little more tiredness, climbing the same stairs, a little more hesitation, getting out of a chair, and because it is gradual, the brain adapts to the new normal without questioning it. That is exactly why these 5 habits are so dangerous. They do not feel like decline in the moment. They feel like simply getting older. But getting older and declining rapidly are two very different things. One is inevitable. The other is often preventable. Think about someone you know who is 85 and still gardening, still walking to the market, still laughing loudly at dinner. And then think about someone the same age who struggles to get out of a chair without help. The difference between those two people is rarely luck. Genetics play a role, of course. But daily habits, repeated across 10 or 15 years, play an even bigger one. The woman, still gardening at 85, likely never let sitting take over her days. She likely kept protein on her plate. She likely went for her yearly hearing check without complaint. She likely had a doctor review her pill bottles, and she likely still calls her grandchildren every Sunday. None of that is extraordinary. None of it requires wealth or rare opportunity. It requires consistency. If there's one thing I want you to remember from this video, it is this. 70 is not a finish line. It is a checkpoint. And what you do at a checkpoint determines the next stretch of the race. You do not need to change everything today. Pick just one of these 5 habits. The one that felt most familiar as you were watching, and commit to fixing that one thing this week. Maybe it is standing up every hour. Maybe it is adding an egg to breakfast. Maybe it is finally booking that hearing test you have been putting off for 2 years. Small, consistent corrections compound over time far more powerfully than one dramatic overhaul that fades after a month. Before you leave this video, I want to hear from you down in the comments. Tell me which of these 5 habits surprised you the most, or which one you are going to work on. Starting today, your comment might be exactly what another viewer needs to read today to make their own change. And if you know a parent, a grandparent, or even a neighbor who is over 70, send them this video. Today, not next week. Today. Because the earlier these 5 habits are corrected, the more powerful the results, and if this video gave you even one useful thing to act on, then do these 3 things right now. Like the video so more seniors can find it. Subscribe so you never miss what comes next, and share it with one person who needs to hear this today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one where we go even deeper into protecting your health after 70.